Oh yes, legends, we are live. How is everybody doing? Let's analyze here the situation for the price of Bitcoin. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let me know right away in the comment section, legends. It's not been easy, guys. We've had a very choppy range. Got stopped out in a long position today, I have to say. But got back in here and I'm going to explain why. And I'm looking for that 382 Fibonacci retracement for a TP1. We want to hit those highs. Got into this long trade here as another triple bottom situation. It looks like that we are going to manage. We're currently at the VWAP almost. Okay, I'm looking for that wick here to the upside. Would I say that this is a good short position? Well, I do think that a larger bounce could be on the horizon. Now, right, let's go right away through the, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, guys. Should be live. Microphone is not connected, or is it not? Is it? Let me know right away, guys. Yes, you can hear me. Let's go. Let's go. Devil is also live. Shout out to Devil. Let's analyze the situation here. We are getting the pump into the VWAP, into the 382 at the moment, and very much expecting this kind of pump. Should be collecting some profits right now. If you did try to long any of these double, triple bottoms, we're looking for that reversal here. Managed to scoop up. TP hasn't been hit. Come on. We need to take that TP right away. Hit it already. Damn. This is not an easy situation, guys. I did get stopped out once already, and I will explain why. The main reason that we are looking for a bounce here is because of this movement to the upside, and you know that daily level was really challenging here. The main reason why here of a long position, guys, is the daily, the 618 Fibonacci. We are looking at this as an impulse. However, as we are defensive trader, I only spoke to Devil on the live stream as well, and he said he got stopped out 3 times at break even, right? Paying a bit of fees, and did manage to jump into the long trade as well. I mean, this is a day trade of $1,000, right? You're hitting the lows, you're looking for that highs to be hit right now, coming to the VWAP and the 382 Fibonacci, at least at a bare minimum target, which we are hitting right now as we speak. We're going to go through the analysis, guys. Not many people on the stream today. I'm a little bit late on today's stream, but who cares, right? We trade the markets. Thank God that finally this was the overall, day trade idea, guys. This is a small little scalp day trade. Eventually, we are looking for higher. This is why we are, going to maintain some of that long position, because there is a possibility that we do get that leg up. I'm going to, if we can turn a day trade into a swing trade, then we will, to maximize some profits. But we go level to level, and we are very cautious with some more downside potential. First of all, let's go through the analysis of yesterday, because yesterday we were very concerned about the price getting a bounce. We did bounce very nicely yesterday. We got almost a $4,000 bounce from that crucial pivot level right over here. This was absolutely epic. It was the level to pay attention yesterday, okay? Nice, beautiful swing failure pattern from this low right over here. It got a larger bounce than I expected, really, okay? Very fast here to $98,000. And yeah, what can I say? I mean, this was one of the scenarios that we mentioned yesterday, right? Yesterday, we mentioned the possibility with the news volatility to, get that movement down. Shout out to Aiden. Aiden, really nicely technical short position from here down to the lows. And then we got the bounce from $94,100, right? If you get that reaction from that low, you enter on the movement to the upside, and then you look to get into the trade, right? With your stop loss at the low. You only have a few seconds here. You have less than a minute, right, to actually get the best entry possible and your best risk management, right? Then we got the rise very nicely to the upside, which eventually should have been taking profits on this movement up, especially when you count the micro waves. We can go through that now in the next coming seconds, okay? And we're going to talk about eventually the trading setups of today, right? We are going to go through the trading setups, guys. But hey, if you longed this movement, okay, from yesterday, this level that we mentioned yesterday, this is the level to get into a long. If you waited all day for that level and you waited and you entered that long trade, which was the only long position that we mentioned yesterday, it was the only long level, okay, first level, because lower we do have more levels eventually. If we do break this level, we had the 7/8 Fibonacci from the low to the high, but it was the only first level to be hit. There was no longs here at 95.2, 95. There was just no longs there. It was this one, the only one, okay, from 96,000 to 94,100, the only long position that you want to take a look at. And that was the level that got the pretty nice bounce, right? We're still downtrending. The price is really downtrending for the last 10 days. So, hey, what comes next? Where is the next high probability scalping opportunity? Now, there was this scalp opportunity that was mentioned today in the legends, right? We're looking for the daily to hold as support. We're looking at double, triple bottoms at this zone. This could be an impulse, right? This could be a correction. It is still very, very much possible. Let me just quickly explain here. That long position, that VWAP and the 382 is getting a big rejection, a little bit aggressive. Okay, I mean, we are downtrending still. We are downtrending. And we could be forming another we could be forming an ABC flat here. Okay, there is a possibility. If we move down in a 5-wave impulsive move, I'm going to look for another long position. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why right away, okay? So make sure to stay tuned. Of course, this long trade, I want to stay, mostly defensive. I will be explaining this long trading setup as well that I got in here at the daily, managing to scratch $1,000, right? Managing to scratch $1,000 on that move. I mean, the VWAP and the 382, it's always a good level as a rejection. I mean, if you reject from the VWAP and the 382 from the high to the low, you can consider that level as an SFP level, right? Where you get above the anchored VWAP, you're not interested in a short trade. The moment you step below the anchored VWAP with the 382 Fibonacci, yeah, you could look for a short trade, come back down to the lows as a possible target zone, be defensive already with your stop loss. Hey, and yeah, that's about it, right? Not good. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to explain a little bit, a little bit of the situation here, right? If you entered that long trade yesterday, there's several ways in counting this movement to the upside, but it looks relatively quite impulsive, right? Because where is the strongest, biggest wave with the highest amount of volume, right? When we do take out this high volume, this is when you have high volume to the downside like this based on news. Like mentioned yesterday, if you form a V-shape or U-shape recovery, it usually happens when you have news events, okay? So news events are really not reliable on volume and trend continuation, where you're looking at big movement down with volume. Oh my goodness, look at this movement down with high volume. This is going to get a pullback and it's going to continue to the downside. No, not always, guys. If you do form a V-shape recovery, right, or a U-shape, right, it usually happens in news events. It's a rare scenario to happen, but if it does happen mainly after news, right? Where you get a volatile move up and then you come back down to the start of the pump. Or you get a volatile move down with extremely high volume. Oh my goodness, this is extremely bearish. And then you get a massive V-shaped recovery, right, to the highs of the start of the dump. Mainly it happens when we get the news. We came down to that exact level and got the bounce, okay? Did manage to scratch some profits from that long position that we mentioned on yesterday's live stream. So most importantly, okay, who cares about yesterday's live stream? I missed out on that long position. Can you please talk about, what are you looking at next, okay? Absolutely, yeah. We're going to talk about that right away, guys. Just we need to give explanation. We need track record. We need data, right? You need to talk about what you mentioned yesterday. Was it a bunch of BS or was it, very much a valid long position? Well, yeah. The only level of interest that we had, the first one, okay, because there was a couple of more levels beneath us, was the 94,100. If you wait all day long instead of trying to long or short or, you know, get into a random trade with no plan, no stop loss, you know, I think it's going to go down or I think it's going to go up, make sure to have those levels, get those plans and just wait for that level, guys. If you only trade the levels of interest and the plan, right, you will be just absolutely fine. You're going to make money. You will make money, okay, if you trade the plans and the realistic scenarios, right? So let's analyze. We ain't gonna zoom out, guys. I've had enough with this downtrend. Okay, we've had enough, guys. I've had enough. I ain't gonna be counting this scenario, right? I do think that the price has a chance to get above $98,000. There's lots of liquidity here, and depending on that movement up, you know, there is a chance in claiming the low again and getting the bounce. So yeah, there's long positions at the lows again. So we're going to get a few plans ready. I mean, unless you're an aggressive scalper, and we can talk about some scalping levels now in the next coming minutes, guys, because I had to scalp today. Today for me was scalping, and I got stopped out already once trying to long this scenario. This is a double bottom long position. This is claiming the low, getting back above. I chickened out here ever so slightly because of bearish CVD divergence, and I maintained most of the position open here for a back test. And there is a reason, right? It's not only a back test right there, okay, that did happen on the price of Bitcoin on the lower time frames, right? We need to explain this situation, guys. We need to explain the trading setups. We can't just say, I'm going to long position. If we go lower, I'm going to add to the position because we're likely going to reverse, right? If you're following that somebody that is talking like that, guys, run very fast because and be cautious with this kind of, you know, non-financial advice, because there's no such thing, right, as having, you know, adding to a position like this. Okay, for me, it's just a dangerous thing that will get people wrecked, and you will lose a lot of money. So plan your day trades. If you can turn a day trade into a swing trade, then absolutely wonderful, right? That is really, really nice. So let's focus right away as we do get the like button smashed, guys, and we get loads of people joining in, because we're really going to focus on the lower time frames, right? 5 minute, 1 minute. This is going to be aggressive scalping scenarios, right, where we are analyzing the waves, the highest confluent zones, and look for a day trade setup for today or for tonight or for tomorrow morning. That's what we want to do, right? We get a move of $1,000 that we can predict, then absolutely golden, guys. With a movement of $1,000, depending on your capital, of course, yeah, you can make $1,000, you can make $2,000, you can make $10,000, you can make whatever you want, depending on how much capital you have and how much is your risk band, right? How much can you risk, right? Depending on how big your account is. But hey, if I can get into a scalp, make $1,000 on a scalp trade setup, absolutely epic. You know, this is what I'm looking at. You know, a little small move, a technical small move to sweep up the highs, get to the VWAP. That is where I'm exiting here if I'm looking for a long position. So there's going to be some more setups, of course. I mean, if I am awake, I will look to trade those setups that I'm going to explain throughout this live stream. So I need you to pay full attention, guys. If you trade the scenarios, right, and the levels, and you have good risk management, right, stopped behind the reaction zone, you're going to be good as gold. Yeah, I got stopped out today. Okay, I did get stopped out today, and the stop loss was pretty much break even. It was an $80 loss for me, okay, because I had to pay some fees, right? But anyway, let me just go through the devil told me that he got stopped out 3 times trying to long here. It happens, right? We need to get stopped out, guys, very defensively if we're looking for a long here at these certain levels. It's just part of the game, right? People rather not get stopped out and add to the position. I can tell you, because I do get DMs a few times, not a few times a week, but a few times a month, from people trading positions, right? Because people do have my Telegram, right, or the Discord, and they send me DMs and they share with me their account and their positions, and they ask me, do you reckon this will turn around, because I'm in the loss right now pretty aggressively, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, no. Sometimes people just don't pay attention to really manage risk, guys. You know, there's no such thing as hoping and looking for a reversal. I am looking for a larger bounce in this zone, but I could be completely wrong, and this just, you know, takes a crap down here and goes to lower levels. So really don't rely on my higher time frame point of view. Rely on the trading setups. If I give you a level and I talk about how you want to position yourself in that, you know, that trading level, just do it as I not as I say. I mean, I'm not allowed to say that, you know, legally, right? But as I would do it, right? Yesterday's example was the best one, right? We like to take a look at yesterday's stream, right? If you long the reaction at $94,200, and this move here, guys, let me just zoom out. What time frame was this? The 50-minute time frame. And it's simple, guys. You can just copy and paste. When I talk about this scenario yesterday, and I explain how you need to enter the reaction at this trade, where if the price successfully breaks down the level, you are beneath the level, you are not interested. We had a couple of more levels, but overall, just so you get the idea here, you are not interested in getting into the long. You are breaking down. You are breaking down. You're not longing at the price going against you. No, that is suicidal. Don't do that. You want to long when the price bounces. When the price is starting to get above the level here. So you can long here, you can long here, you can long here. Don't long here. You have a couple of minutes potentially to get into the long. Decide if you want to get into that long and put your stop loss beneath the low. Take a bit of room. Don't glue it to the low right there. Give it a bit of room for a local double bottom. The risk management is there. If you do this, then yeah, you'll be just fine with a nice potential bounce. Just a little educational point of view on, you know, how you would have entered this position. And without a doubt, guys, if you get this nice pump taking out the highs, start considering taking profits here as the price action gets choppy. Why would you consider taking profit? And we'll go through the scenarios, guys, right away. Hang on a minute. We need to keep this a bit educational as well on how to manage a situation depending on your style. I mean, today I went aggressive scalping mode where, you know, I can't take this choppiness anymore, and I'm happy to take most of the profits at the VWAP and taking out the highs. Just as at the beginning of the stream, I'm like, you know, if I'm long in here, this double bottom, I'm going to get the heck out here most of my position. I'll leave a smaller position just in case price, you know, decides to, you know, get a larger bounce and we move up impulsively, which I don't know yet because we haven't got the price action. If we start getting a third wave here and starts getting explosive, then I'll say, okay, let's see the information that we have here and then decide if I want to take the rest of the profits or maintain the long position or get into, you know, adding to the long position. Before we go through these two movements, I don't need any more, guys. We don't need any more chart, okay? We ain't going to analyze this massive downtrend of the last few weeks, okay? Last 10 days plus, right? I'm just going to talk about this situation. That's it. We're just going to talk about this range. What are the important scenarios here and what are the important scenarios here and also here, right? And even taking out the highs at $98,000. You know, could that be the case? Very much so. So we're just going to overall focus in the price action from yesterday and today and come to the conclusion of some different scenarios. Screw altcoins, guys. I've had enough with altcoins, right? we want to trade Bitcoin. Bitcoin is where we make the gains. Here's where we day trade Bitcoin. We scalp Bitcoin. If we can scratch some dollars off the market, screw altcoins. They will pump at some point, right? When is the altcoin season going to come? It's going to happen at some point, guys. Okay, so we're just going to remain patient. I'm not making money out of my altcoin bags. Some of them, yes, but they're just there. We need a scalp day trade, scratch some dollars off the market, guys, because this is where we make our gains with very responsible trading plans. Remember, guys, Weeks is the one that I'm using lately, and it's absolutely awesome. It is highly liquid, and you get $100 for free. Anybody that hasn't signed up already, check out the link down below. As soon as you sign up and you link your phone number with your email, you will get $100 airdropped in the next 24 to 48 hours, okay, for free. So take advantage, guys. You got $300 to trade there. And for all of the bigger traders, of course, you do get airdrops of up to $30,000. The more volume you move, okay, you deposit a significant amount and you move volume, you're going to get airdrops as well as bonus. These are for the big players, right? More of the whales. Take advantage of that as well, because you're just getting airdrops as you do trade the next coming weeks. And 50% fee reduction as well. Take advantage, guys. It is the second link down below in the description, guys. Check out Weeks and just claim that $100. It's free money, right? So you can use to trade. Not withdraw. It's for trading. Any profits that you make from that, you can withdraw, of course. So let's just quickly say hello to the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community, as we do get that like button absolutely destroyed. How many likes do we have right now? How many likes do we have? Let me just refresh here and check how many likes we do have, because, man, my like button is very, very bad. My like button is no bueno. It's no bueno, my like, okay? So I need people to smash up the like, guys, because if not, I'm going to go and take a hike, and this will be the end of that. And it's not being rude, guys. It's you, the viewer, that needs the help, that needs to, right, show some support, and then we can go through some technical analysis. And if you want to trade the possible setup that is mentioned on the live stream, just like yesterday, if you want to get into a long position, yeah, you're in profits, you've made profits, you're welcome. So let's smash up the like button for that, guys. If not, I'm gonna just screw YouTube. I'm gonna get pissed off and I won't be happy. And I can see the like button going up. I know lots of you do smash up the like, okay? It gives me energy. The like button gives me energy, right? It's like having a Red Bull, right? It's like, whoa, bang, look at the like button. Let's go. Let's go through the technical analysis and what the heck could happen. Reversal incoming. Yeah, it does look like it. And this is what we're going to explain. Anyway, hello to everybody. Much love to everyone here. Zahed with lots of hearts. Hey, my man, how are you? Zahed, is that? Yeah, well, I don't know. But hello, please link crypto analysis tanks. Werner, my man, smash up the like button. Werner, the absolute legend. Omar, hopefully Ethereum BTC trades will print this 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽. Okay. Breakout says 1 ton. How are you doing? Omar, let's go. Aditya, smash up the like button. I got the legend here, moderator, giving absolute power. Epic trader, by the way. Yeah, it has to be said. Jamie, yes, sir, my man. Fernando, Valenzuela, ¿qué pasa? ¿Podrías revisar Run? Amigo, vámonos. ¿Qué pasa con Run? Vamos a hacer el análisis técnico de Run ahora mismo. Y ahora vamos a hablar en español, que estoy hasta los cojones ya de hablar en inglés. Ahora vamos a hablar en español. Y si no sabéis español, vais a aprender ahora español, porque el análisis de hoy va a ser en español. Only joking, guys. I got someone who's Spanish or from South America. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go. I can't hear you. I'm watching 𝗬𝗍𝘆. My man. Yeah, 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is live as well. This is why the views are down, because people are watching the legend 𝗬𝗍𝘆, guys, who's a coach in the Legends trading community. About Rune, I mean, I think this has to be an awesome accumulation zone, okay? We're going to focus on Bitcoin, okay? I do hold some Rune. I'm actually in slight loss on Rune here. But, you know, we dip down here. We like in this range. We are below the point of control of this large consolidation that we had in 2022 and part of 2023. It's like, my goodness. But I can already say coming down to a big consolidation range is usually a zone where the price will bottom out, and it's probably going to take weeks, guys. It's going to take weeks and weeks, right? Could we test the lows again, right? But this is an accumulation area that will likely be forming throughout the next coming weeks. We just get, you know, this is the moment to buy. You don't want to buy anything here in these volatile movements, all right? You move down back to the lows. The potential of this going down to zero is very, very low. It is a working project, okay? It's one of the best interoperability projects. There's no reason to fail. Some people are saying that it's Luna 2.0, where, you know, Luna was obviously a big, massive mess, right? But this is a working project. You know, I don't see any reasons for this to go to zero, and it's back down at the accumulation zone. Okay, so I mean, I bought at $2 range, slightly in the loss, bought a few $1,000s. I'm just gonna hold on. This is gonna be like a mid-long term thing. Okay, so just I don't make any money out of the portfolio. If it does make a 3-4x in the next coming months, then yeah, absolutely, you know, banging, right? But we are here to day trade, right? I'm a day trader. I can't live out of portfolio. I can sell chunks of my portfolio that I've been accumulating, but portfolio is just there. So we really want to try and scratch some dollars off the market. Anyway, let's go right away. Hello to everybody. We're just chit-chatting here at the beginning of the stream, okay? Just make sure to destroy the like button. We got over almost 200 likes right now. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. We can take a look at a few altcoins later on, but let's focus on Bitcoin, right? Depending on your size of an account, you can make $100, you can make $50, you can make 1,000, you can make 10,000, right? Depending on your size of your account, right? So we want to day trade, right? We want to look for nice day trade. What happened to Andy? Now stream on Spanish. Yes, like for español, hermano, me cago en la leche de Bitcoin, says Gasuni. Yes. Habla en mallorquín, says Dread Mining. Dread Mining. How do you know I'm Mallorquín? Who are you? Who are you? Habla Mallorquín. I am from Mallorca. Okay? Who is this? Dread Mining. He's somebody that knows me. Who are you? Give me your name right now. Dread Mining. I don't know who he is, but he knows I'm Mallorquín. Anyway, let's go. What a tiny pump and a big dump. Yes, it is true. Bitcoin is, you know, and I'm missing out on a couple of shorts. I mean, the last short that I got into, I mean, this happened at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So eventually I'm not going to short here. I'm asleep. Same scenario happened here. Aiden provided an epic short from this point right there. I mean, this was at 6 o'clock in the morning approximately. I didn't catch this short. So yeah, I mean, the last short position that I entered here on Bitcoin, I really can't remember from this downtrending zone. Was it this movement potentially? I don't even remember. Just trying to get into a couple of long positions. Anyway, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Let's go right away through. Can you do 𝗖𝗍 analysis? Second Life. We're going to do 𝗖𝗍 analysis later on if you want. Make sure to remember. Andy Vamos, Rag Capital, my man. How are you? Costas, Dot, please. We can take a look at Dot later on. Who are you? Taz, yes. Who is he? Lo has dicho muchas veces en el live stream way. Dread Mining. Dread Mining. Who is it? I don't know. Can you do 𝗖𝗍 analysis? Yeah, we'll do 𝗖𝗍 later on, okay? Destroy the like button. Okay, like has been destroyed. I'm going to auto like myself as well. And we're going to go through the Bitcoin technical analysis. Just a little local volatile range here. We did have some news before. It did get a pump, a dump, and then a pump. Okay, PPI did come out here. It's higher than expected. I don't know why it's loading here. I already saw it 0.4. And we got a bit of volatility. S&P 500 is ripping pretty nicely to the upside. I got a pump and dump, then another pump. I'm not sure what it's doing right now, but the S&P 500 is moving up very, very nicely to the upside here. We got a little bit of volatility just in the last couple of hours after the news. Okay, we did create some local volatility right over here. Nothing extreme, but we did get that volatility. here. We got a pump and dump and then a nice, you know, continuation pump here. Not interested in the S&P. We're interested in Bitcoin. So let's focus right away. We are starting with the analysis, guys. We need to get some people joining and smashing up the like button. Have a little bit of chit chat here. Andy, vamos, tronco. Me estoy durmiendo. Very true, very true. Someone's falling asleep here. Okay, so let's focus here on the analysis on this uptrend momentum. Now the question is, was this the low? Let's go with the most extreme bullish case scenario, right? Which the low is in finally from this downtrend, right? Let's just speculate that the low was finally in here and that we are going to start taking out some lower highs in the next coming days. Let's try if we can do that on Friday, or we take out the low one more time and then we get the pump. Okay, we'll be talking about that scenario and the most important levels of interest. So let's just imagine, right, whatever the case might be, that this turns out in a three-wave structure, right? Or it just breaks down. I am still interested, guys, at the 7/8 Fibonacci, the naked point of control. We do have a nice high volume node from that price action of last Monday. This is higher time frame. We're going to focus on the lower time frames. This level I'm interested in longing, okay? Naked point of control, okay, which was front run with yesterday's drop. We did take out that low. Naked point of control is still there. $93,400 from the consolidation of Monday. Either that level or the 7/8 Fibonacci. I'm treating it as the same thing here. We break down beneath it. I'm not going to long, guys. I would leave this to go to wherever it needs to go. The moment you recover from one of those lows, I'm going to sniper a long position, stop loss at the low. I'm looking for that recovery. Same scenario as yesterday. This is just a long, boring downtrend. It does not look impulsive. Okay, I think it would be rare to see a sudden drop from here. This would have to be multiple 1-2s and then 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Not the case. Lots of three waves here in the zone. This just looks corrective. And at some point, we are looking for that movement to the upside. The bearish case scenario is low probability, in my opinion, that we're going to break down right to below $90,000. So, going through the 5-minute time frame, and I did promise that we were only going to focus on this range. This is going to be looking very interesting. We're going to look at the micro waves here, and we're going to, I'm telling you, if we take out the low one more time, I'm still interested in the long position. We'll probably get into the long together, right? If we do get that low, and I'm going to explain why. When we do take a look at this movement to the upside, there's several ways in counting this, right? The market moves in waves, and we need to analyze what kind of waves do we have. Could have this been an expanding move with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And then this, you have your nice little sharp ABC move. And then you get the third wave, right? You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction, right? Nice little breakout in your wave 3 with the highest amount of volume. Very possible. Then what you would have here is your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 right over here. We're going to turn this white so you can see it's the higher time frame move, right? At the end of the game, you do see how this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And inside of this 5 wave, you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little bit of a contracting move right over here in a 5 wave structure. So you got 5 waves here in 1. You got this movement in your 3, very impulsive, high volume, your 4th wave, and then your 5th wave right there. That's a possible count. Another possible count is just counting this as multiple 1-2s, 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 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? And it doesn't matter. It's a 5 wave move up, right? Regardless of what it is. Bitcoin dumping, and we're going to analyze this situation right away. Let's just get out of that trade. Not an easy short. The 382 is shallow for a short position. I would rather see a little bit of a larger bounce. The 382 is the one getting the resistance. Now what I want to focus on here, as this does look 5 wavy, is this a 3 wave move down, or is it also a 5 wave? How is it possible to have 5 wave up, 5 wave down? You know, I thought it was 3 wave on a correction, right? So now the question is, the problem is that this could have been a C wave as well, right? And I don't like the situation, but regardless, it all depends on how we move down here, how aggressive we move down. But we're leaning on here on the possible bullish case. If we do see another low, which I'm going to explain, now there's several ways in counting this. If you are going to count this as a wave A, B, and C, well, you need to figure out here a 5 wave move down here in a C wave, right? Which is just looking not too great at all for the moment. But there is a possibility on a scenario that I'm going to explain right away. The situation here is that we do have one wave and a second wave right over here. Then down here, you do have kind of a 5 wave mover. You could possibly say that this was your 3rd wave. And now the situation is, what's happened here? Did we form a 5th wave, or is all of this part of a 4th wave where you're also forming a flat, right? So you have your impulsive move, right? Well, your 1, 2, 3, and all of this is still part of your 4th wave, and you've had your 5th wave. The main reason of the long position entering today was looking for a 4-5 in this area, or local double bottoms. We had a daily level here, and we know that daily levels could get very good reaction. First long attempt, daily level right there, double bottom scenario, stopped out right over here with this movement to the downside. If we, you know, looking at this, I mean, daily level has been an absolute battle today. It's been a battle, lots of double, triple bottoms here, right? Quadruple bottom, actually. Did get into the quadruple bottom again. We need to be very defensive, guys, if you're getting into these double bottoms. If you get a pump like this, right, you definitely don't want to turn this into a losing trade. If you get a long trade right in this zone, I mean, this one could have been a little bit difficult. It could have got stopped out at break even. It leaves without you. But if it does pump here to the highs, close to the highs, you cannot turn this into a losing trade if you entered this double bottom, because you can't have a 2-3 to 1 risk to reward on that long setup and turn it into a losing trade. You know, you cannot do that. Okay, rather get stopped out at break even, and if the price leaves without you, then sometimes happens. It sometimes happens. Let's just focus on this, because this is kind of been a little bit of a headache right now, this price action. A lot of sideways momentum. I have, you know, my doubts right now on what the heck this is, because you could be forming a flat structure. I mean, you could arguably discuss, you could count this. Ay, mamma mia. You could arguably discuss to count this as your 5th wave is not in yet, and you're just forming a very, very complex corrective structure. I mean, it's getting extremely choppy and volatile. You're testing lows, you're testing highs. It's getting relatively confusing. But if we were to speculate, that you had your 4-5 here, so instead of this being the end, okay, of this wave, you got your 1, 2, 3, and you got your possible double 1, 2 here as well, and you see this as your ABC flat, and this has been your 5th wave, your first 5th wave. And then another ABC here in another flat. So you got a flat there, test the highs, test the lows, right? Which, you know, I was leaning on the possibility that this could have been the end of the area. But right now you have kind of another zigzag right there. After this low, you form a zigzag, and then you form another zigzag down. I mean, which could have given you that acceptable short position at the VWAP. But the main reason of this long position as well is zigzag right there. And now you haven't formed a 5 clear wave to the upside. But what you would be counting this as is your next 4th wave. And you're going to get one last 5th wave down, which we're going to be interested in, guys. I'm going to explain where I want to get into a long position here. And this could have been an aggressive scalp short, as explained before, right? Where you hit the VWAP. You hit the 382 Fibonacci from the highs to the lows. This is kind of an acceptable short trade, right? When you form a range from lows and highs, you can long the lows on the SFP, you can long the lows on the test, and you can short the high as well. So the high was taken, you got the session VWAP providing resistance with the 382, right? And now just adding this confluence to the edit wave theory here on this mini range is, what if this is still a 4-5 that we are forming right now, and then we're going to get the bounce, the proper bounce? It is possible, right? Because what I like to see after creating this low, which you would arguably discuss, it's an ABC flat, and then this next movement down 4-5, and you're creating another higher time frame 4-5. You got a bit of a zigzag right there, another zigzag right over here, and then not the most beautiful 5-wave move. You got a bit of a truncated 5th wave, right? You do hit. You don't hit the highs, which is very disturbing. Preferably want to see a nice beautiful 5-wave here for that ABC flat, right? The C wave needs to have 5 waves. It would be rare to form a truncated 5th wave, which is not taking out the 4th wave, right? The 3rd wave, sorry. But it's possible. It does happen sometimes. So overall, if we do take out the lows right now, what we need to analyze is a local 5-wave move down to speculate that this will be the end of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to get the bounce. So I mean, this was an acceptable short, I have to say. You go above the VWAP and the 382, you're not interested. The moment you get below it, you can enter your trade, and you can, place your stop loss at the high, and maybe this movement up could stop you out at break even. It's very, very common as well. But if you're happy with a loss and you're aiming for the low, then, I mean, this is your risk to reward scenario, right? Taking out the low is your take profit zone. Which was, was an acceptable short scalp, I have to say. Especially when we consider that ABC flat here. You got a flat here finishing 1-5, and then another flat here to finish another 5, and then you finally get the larger bounce, right, after a big shakeout. We want to get into that long on the shakeout. That is without a doubt what I am looking at, right? So now the plan is, hey, if you're looking at this scenario, right, we come down and take out the lows again. Where are you going to get into a long position, right? Where is your levels of interest to get into a long position if we do, basically lose this low? And it has to be. Okay, let me just take a look at the session volume profile based on this consolidation. But it has to be kind of, the fact that we are inside of previous day value levels is just not a good sign on its own. You do have the risk of coming down to the lows, but we're analyzing this as an impulse and this possibly corrective, right? Or at least, if you want to count this as an ABC, it's just not looking too great right now. I have to be honest. It's not looking too great to look at this as a zigzag. This looks beautiful as an impulse, but this also looks beautiful as an impulse. So it's like, I have my doubts here on this price action. On the possibility of this actually being a corrective structure, and we're going to come up and take out the highs, which would be ideal. It would be the ideal scenario if you want to count this as a 1 wave or an A wave. But regardless, let's just focus on the local time frames, because we are day traders and scalpers, right? I'm out of that position already, very likely. Just about to get out, about to get wicked out here, but this position was already a good little scalp day trade. Looks like it wants to take out the lows, and we could go lower. So, I mean, I'm going to explain a little bit the next scenario that could happen here on the live stream, which I would jump into another long. And I really want to focus, and that's treating this as an ABC flat and create one more wave down. Create one more wave down is what I'm looking at. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, just doing the counts here. If we were to move down here, let's go to the 1 minute time frame, analyze this situation. Oh, the fact that you hit the 0.88 here is no bueno. It's no bueno. This is very rare for a... We ever so slightly front runned it. Man. Yeah, we did not hit the 0.88, which is muy importante. 0.88 was not hit. So the fact that if you do hit the 0.88, this is rare for a wave 2. But if we do move down here, in a little bit of a double 1-2, if we do continue breaking down, you know, this is your third wave. I want a little bit more of an aggressive move down on your third wave, so not get much of a bounce, still continue to the downside, right? Take out the lows already. Take out the lows. Because it's all about liquidity grabs. You know, I don't see a nice long position right now, even though we're back testing the daily. I don't want to long anywhere in this zone, to be honest. Right now, considering the ABC flat and that you could move down impulsively one more time and then get the bounce. So what I want to see here is this continuation down on this 1-2, you know, get a third wave down, get a bit of more price action to the downside, potentially create another low here on the third wave. But overall, if we do move down and we get a little bounce, I will consider this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I would be interested in getting into the fifth wave, either double bottoming here from this scenario, and same scenario than this one here. Take out the lows, look to profit at the highs. This was my local scalp trade that I took today, based on another double bottom, right? The daily, I got stopped out already here with this, you know, reaction zone, and got in here on this latest drop down, which, if you know, finally took out the highs. Eventually I wanted to look at higher levels, but it is correcting down pretty aggressively. So you know, could the low be in? Well, yeah, potentially not, based on that scenario that I mentioned. You know, looking at this as a zigzaggy move. Yeah, zigzag move up, zigzag move down. 5 wave with a truncated 5th wave, very rare, but regardless, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a possibility. If we move down here very aggressively, you got your 1, 2, 3. And, you know, I would be looking for either a local double bottom here to form 5 waves. So the first attempt is going to be risky just because it will be very 3 wavy. I'll be looking very patiently for that bounce, and then boom. And then this is what we're looking at, right? You're looking for that recovery. Let's take a look at the fib levels here, because that is going to be very important. From the pivot low of yesterday to the pivot high, the golden pocket has been, you know, the zone of reaction today. We got one reaction here at the golden pocket, and here you slightly got below the golden pocket, and then finally got the little bounce of $1,000. Anybody that shorted the VWAP, you know, absolutely golden. The VWAP today was an acceptable scalp short, back down to the lows basically, which we are very much close to. That was an acceptable scalp short here. So let's just hide this scenario and go through the pivots, because the 7/8 Fibonacci, I mean, this would be aggressive. I am really paying attention right now. I mean, if we reverse from here, then so be it. But I can't jump into a long position here. I need to take out those lows again. need to take out those lows again. I want to count a 5-wave move to the downside to speculate that this was the end of that, that 5th wave. Very, very difficult long position here right now. This is not a zone that I would want to long at the moment after taking out the highs. The main reason I don't want to jump into a long position here, I mean, long in here on the SFP or in this SFP is a good target zone to take out the highs to take profit, because you did not hit the high here, right? And any local double bottoms, when you form a lower high, then yeah, I'm going to attempt a long, and I'm going to take profit here, guys, just as shown at the beginning of the stream. This is your take profit one at the VWAP. It's resistance. You're taking out the highs regardless. It's a scalp. But long in here right now is, if we do get the bounce, it's just very hard, just because you have taken out these local highs. And when you take, the local highs, there's no reason, right, to get that bounce anymore, right? Well, I mean, it could bounce, but for me, this is a TP zone. So if I long here from now, it's very hard for my TP area, right? Eventually, the highs would be the TP zone, but yeah, not an easy long. So I would rather want to see lower, just because we've taken out this local high of the range already. So if we can take out the low, then I would be interested in longing. So this would be an acceptable SFP level. This higher low right there, which is your wave 2 from this movement to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be an acceptable one. However, I really need to analyze the waves to the downside here, which is not making it easy. Lots of 3 waves, lots of, yeah, interesting price action here that's happening throughout the last couple of hours. Just very, very choppy and very rangy. But anyway, I love range trading. If you're range trading, I mean, this was the whole main reason of my long position just a couple of hours ago, right? Which is just looking for the back test, looking at the potential of this being a 3-wave right there, and looking for the flat. And you get the SFP and you get the back test of that low. You're really speculating on this being a wave 2 or a wave B, right? In this case, it was a wave 2 to look for 5 waves to the upside up to the VWAP. I mean, range trading for me is where I prefer to get into some setups, to be honest. It's usually really nice to get into a long on an SFP of a low, or get into a short on an SFP of the highs, right? Because you can manage risk very, very well. They're basically liquidity grab trading, right? I would call it. So, I mean, missed out on the short, but got into that long position. Well, this was a very much acceptable short on the rejection of the VWAP. So, if we do break down from that low, there's 2 scenarios. One is the successful breakdown. Obviously, if we successfully break down, there's nothing to do. And one is the reaction at the certain levels that I'm going to talk about. And after, away from those levels, right? And, this was mentioned yesterday. We need to talk about the levels, guys. Once they're hit, you can get into a trade setup if you get the reaction. The same thing applies here, guys. And I know it's boring, okay? A lot of people, you just say, I've had enough here. It's boring. It's just the way that I trade is like this, and it's successful. I can already tell you that, and I just need to remain very patient to wait for these scenarios. I do get stopped out, but I also got into a very good day trade setup in the end that managed to profit very nicely. So this higher low, I mean, it is disturbing. The 7/8 is very far away from it. I mean, if we add the exact 7/8 Fibonacci, where this low is, I would really like that level. I would really like it, because eventually you have the 7/8 and the higher low as with confluence, right? But and now the question is, which will be the level that gets the reaction? Right, because you might even double bottom from this low, you form a little bit of a 5 waver here in a contracting move, or and then you get the bounce, and you might just double bottom from this level. Unless you're forming a double 1-2, you really need to know how to identify if you're in a third wave still, because you might get that 4-5-4-5, right? And you're like, holy crap, how can I long this zone? I'm getting extremely confused. It's getting choppy. It's wicking me out, just like it wicked me out here, but I managed to catch the scalp. You just need to look for the reaction at these pivots and the local double bottoms. And you do not long on the bounce if you're late. Don't get in, right? Because it's probably going to come back down and wick the low again. But you want to get into this move, basically, right? Once it happens. So this is going to be the interesting area, without a doubt, if we take out the low again. And I have to come to the conclusion that this has still been a 4-5-4-5 right there, as you have 1-2 1-2 3. Yeah, looking at this as a third wave down, and then 4-5-4-5. So and then you get the bounce, and then you get the larger bounce, right? Which is, the big bounce always happens at some point. So the short of today, I have to say, what was the VWAP, right? The VWAP here was an acceptable short to take out the lows. That's your take profit zone, right? But that's already left the station, right? We're rolling down. So now it's time to look at reaction levels for the bounce, right? I'm not jumping into a short here. And it all has to do with the risk management. So I'm interested in the longs. Where could the price get a reaction for the bounce? This was the reaction level for a short, the VWAP, and the 382. So that's already left the station. I missed out on that one, which was VWAP and VWAP and 382 of this movement down. And you had the flat scenario as well as your possibility. So now, another 5th wave. And now what I'm interested is in the bounce. I want to get into another bounce. So what is the other bounce that I want to get into? It is either this level, this pivot higher low from yesterday, which is at $95,100, and the 7/8 Fibonacci, if we were to break down from that level. I'm just going to keep it extremely simple, because this we have hit the minimum, the minimum target zone. If this would have been the end of a 5th wave, you have hit the 382. So, could this just already roll over from here? Well, anyway, it's extremely short in time. If this would have been the end of an impulse, and that's your corrective move, and then you move down, it's very shallow in time, right? It's just not. It would make more sense to form a little bit of a larger bounce, right? More symmetrical in timing, and then maybe roll down or maybe pump up, right? But regardless, for this to be the end of the correction and this to be something like this, is like, I don't think so, right? The timing is very, very important, right? The timing goes with the impulsives, with the corrections, with the impulses, with the corrections. The timing needs to be, similar, not too short and not too long. And this is extremely short to be the end of a correction to then just continue to the downside. So this is why, I'm speculating for another larger bounce that could happen in between today and tomorrow. If we were to take out these lows, that's the plan basically, right? It can get disturbing depending on counting these waves to the downside. I mean, this could be a multiple 1-2 1-2, then you form the 3rd wave, you get a reaction, then 4-5 4-5, and you actually, get the choppiness at the 7/8 Fibonacci, and then you get the bounce. So, this would be the zone of interest where I would be analyzing very carefully for that long position. And I'm managing risk very, very well. We'll jump into the long position again. It doesn't matter. That's basically it. Local double bottoms. It can get choppy. It can get difficult, just like this range was difficult for me. Difficult for everybody. I did get stopped out already here on this move, on that choppiness. The stop loss did happen in that range. Okay, so I did get stopped out. $83 stop loss. a break even basically, right? So it wasn't easy, but you just need to be defensive. So I am interested right now in being patient for my levels to be hit, and those are the levels that I'm interested in, right? This one right there. I would be very surprised if the price takes out the low and it just crushes down below yesterday's lows. And it always can be an option. It can always be an option. But the levels that I would be speculating on a reversal, if we do take out the low, I would just count this as, you know, that latest fifth wave is not finished yet. The only levels that I'm going to sniper a trade if I am awake is going to be this one. A double bottom here would be aggressive. I mean, I would really believe that we are going to snap out from this low. If this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it could be a... Yeah, I mean, the price action is getting so choppy today. It's just getting a bit on my nerves, right? When we just form such a massive choppy range where it just goes in circles and up and down, I just like, you know, screw you, Bitcoin. Screw you, Bitcoin. I'm tired already of analyzing your stupid waves up and down. I don't want to analyze you anymore today. I'll analyze you tomorrow. So, but as mentioned, this could be a double 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then you get the bounce. And double bottom is an option. It could happen. Preferably, we do take out this higher low, and that's the moment where I would manage risk like an absolute beast. That's what we need to do, guys. We need to manage risk like a beast here, because if you don't manage risk, then you're gonna get burnt. And you can get stopped out at break even, stopped out at a minor loss. Just be defensive and just wait for the next level of interest. And this zone could be a chop zone where you hit this low, you hit the 7-8, depending on how you move down here on this price action. And it's not easy, guys. I know it's not easy. Sometimes it's easier, but today was not easy either for me. You know, it's just remaining patient. Got stopped out already at break even. Right, well, at a slight loss. And then just wait for the next double bottom scenario, realizing that you need to have that bounce at some point, because you're basically not getting a bounce, not even to the 382, so which is your first target zone. You know, I think it's 77% of the times from any impulsive move up or down. I need to check there is a really cool statistics on impulsive moves on the 382, the 50%, the golden pocket, how many times you do hit those levels. Eventually the 382 is going to be the highest one, and then 78, you know, decreases in the percentage, right, from an impulse of being hit. I think 782 is something like 40% or so of the time, but eventually the highest amount of percentage is the 382. That's, you know, you're always going to cross the 382, right? I think it was 7. I have it somewhere, and I will pull it out on one stream. But eventually, and the 236 is like, you know, something like 90% of the times. You know, you're at least going to hit the 236 on a movement down. You know, almost 100% of the times. You know, this is like your must level to hit on a retracement. And the 382, I think, is like 77, 78%, I think. So you're looking for that 382 to be hit eventually. And, you know, this one finally did get hit, right? When you get your fib from the high to the low right there. You finally did hit it with the latest move. Anyway, this is the zone of interest. I am very much aware it's not going to be easy, guys. Just like this zone today was not easy. But this would be the zone of interest. I would be very surprised if the price does break down successfully here. Being this the correction, Yeah, and you know, not even, I wouldn't even count this as the correction. There's no way, because yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's no way I would count this as the correction. Yeah, I would say that this is the correction, but it would be rare to break down very successfully. It's just very, very shallow in timing and on retracement. Just doesn't make sense. Anyway, we're moving down now as we speak. So let's see how, you know, how this zone reacts, and we'll count the waves as well that we are forming. Let me just zoom out ever so slightly here, because I don't think we do have any major levels. But it's kind of a backtest zone as well, right? It's kind of a backtest area. Backtests from lows do happen. Aiden talked about this backtest a few days ago, where you hit, you know, USFP, you come down to the 7/8 Fibonacci, and then you get the bounce. So now we have this low over here, which could be the backtesting zone. These lows that we SFP'd from, right, technically yesterday, which, you know, it is slightly below the 7/8 Fibonacci, so you want to really, really pay attention to that. Yeah, this could be the area of interest. And I'm only taking the 7/8 or this pivot low as my guideline. The moment the price action, all right, and this could be the backtest zone, right, is exactly where the 7/8 is from this movement up. And this does happen, guys. You do get very significant pullbacks back down, right, to backtest the swing failure pattern level, and you get the bounce. It does happen. So I would give it a chance here. And then that would be my only level of interest, to analyze very, very carefully how the price action reacts to those levels. So yeah, can you guys hear me? Yeah, you can. So there's no doubt that this pullback is getting aggressive, right? You know, there is the moment of doubt right now. Is this impulsive? How deep are we going to go? You know, is this fifth wave going to finally gonna get pretty damn very aggressive, and then we get the bounce? Have to say, this is the zone of interest. So we are coming down to that zone. It's all about the guideline and your trading plan. And my trading plan here, I will be analyzing the micro counts, is either, hey, golden pocket got a bounce today, got two bounces, and a pretty significant bounce. 7/8, are we going to bounce? 7/8 Fibonacci is on next major big fib. If we lose golden pocket, you have the chance of this higher low getting a reaction, or the 7/8. This is going to be my guideline. The moment you're beneath the level, I'm not interested in a long. The moment you recover from the level, either the 7/8, is the moment I would speculate on the long position and be defensive. Just pay some fees back to the market. And whoever jumped into a short position, congratulations, guys. Warren, that was actually an acceptable short position at the VWAP and the 382 Fibonacci. I mean, that was my take profit zone. So eventually, if it's a take profit zone, it can be a short zone as well, right? But the same applies on the VWAP. You know, I don't know. I don't understand why I did not get into that short as well, because if you get beneath the VWAP, that is the moment you short and your stop loss is above the high, and you do have a reason of an ABC flat here as explained, and now you're getting the next fifth wave down. But anyway, now it's time to micro count. There's no shorts here eventually, guys. You know, as you move down, you know, there could be a moment of reversal, so the short had to be taken at the VWAP and the 382 of the movement down. This is why we only really focusing on longs, right? We don't only focus on longs or only focus on shorts, but I mean, as we're moving down right now, I don't want to short down here the lows, right? It's like jumping into a short here. It's like, no, you know, you got an epic bounce. So More interested on the reaction. We're going to come down and take the lows right now. So let's just go on the 1 minute time frame and analyze this movement down. My goodness, how choppy is this? Just looks like a waterfall on the formation. Interesting. I don't like this. I don't like this wave. We even have to go to the 30-second chart. My goodness. I don't like this at all. What a dodgy movement. What a dodgy 1, 2, 3, right? This has to be such one of the most dodgiest, you know, it has to be a kind of a contracting move here in your wave 3. If we create a bounce sideways momentum without overlapping right now on the next bounce and we come down, I would consider this as a 5-wave move, right? That is if we get some, there is going to be some kind of first bounce. I would expect a dead cat bounce and then chop at the lows. And that would be the 5th wave would have to be the one that you jump in to speculate that this is the end of the movement. Okay, so for me, counting the highs, and this is your local move down, we are still inside of the 3rd wave. So despite getting an SFP here, I'm not interested. I'm very much aware of the low being taken again. Let's take a look at CVD, because CVD today has been forming bearish. We did form bearish CVDs. We did take out that high. Local bearish. Yeah, not interested here on this double bottom, just because it's very 3-wavy. I'm looking for that low to be taken again or just continue to the downside. What I want to see now is some kind of bounce without taking out this high, right? So get a little bit of a 3-wave move here, a little bounce choppiness. Then the next move is the one that I'm going to be interested in. Why? Because, you know, I would really consider this as a possible 3rd wave. And what I want to see is the 5th wave move down. If we do get back above the daily, if we do get, and we go up here and we hit the golden pocket, which is kind of already overlapping, then I would not consider this as a 4th wave. We need to kind of back test the daily level, the 382 Fibonacci, right? From this latest move down, somewhere in this area for that 4th wave to get a rejection, and then the 5th wave, and that's the one that I want to be interested in to speculate on the end of the movement down before we get the bounce up. So this is still very 3-wavy, as you can see on the chart, right? You got the highs here at the VWAP, and you got this 1, 2, 3. Still 3, until you form a zigzag move up and you get a decent range for the next 30 minutes, right? Give or take a bit of room on timing, and then take out the low. Then you have your 5-wave count. And where can I predict where the 5th wave could end or get a reaction? Well, as we have zoomed out here, it is those pivots that have been mentioned. This pivot higher low from yesterday, or most aggressively the 7/8 Fibonacci, right? And that would be a pretty aggressive 5th wave move down. If we are considering this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, you just really aggressively take it out here, and then you get the start of the recovery here in between today and tomorrow. I'm looking for this move, guys, if you didn't notice already. But you need to be very, very patient and analyze. And if the bounce happens, you know, just so be it, right? I need the chart to provide me the waves, hit the levels of interest of liquidity grabs, or hit the fib levels, and then, you know, jump into the trade accordingly. And you might think to yourself, why did you not see this as a good SFP? I mean, if you can manage risk, you can get in. But the fact that we formed a 3-waver here, for me is disturbing. I would want to see a little bit of a local bouncy range and then take out the low. And then I have a 5-wave, and we know that a 5-wave finishes an impulse. So this would be the moment that I would be looking for that long position based on the reaction of these pivots. Either this one or the 7-8 from the movement up of yesterday, right? So it's time to be a little bit patient here. And if we bounce from here, then yeah, so be it. Could have this very, very choppy. If we do break out from here, you know what's going to be bullish? If we do take out this pivot low and the daily again, then I would not consider this as an impulsive move down, right? Because you're overlapping. This is no longer your 4th wave, and this then could be your 2nd wave. And this is the moment that we look for bullish CVD divergence, a 3-wave corrective structure, and I'm looking at the golden pocket or the 7-8 Fibonacci, and then I'm jumping into a long position if we come this to the, you know, too high here. So it's really understanding, you know, where would be the sign of strength and the sign of weakness. This would be a sign of strength eventually, getting back above the daily, overlapping this pivot low. And that would be the moment that I would be starting to shift to look for a long. I mean, getting into wave 2s are not going to be easy. I mean, you would have to look for your stop loss at the lows and look for a 3rd wave eventually to then finally break out, start hitting some lower highs. Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting right now. Man, I need to go to the 30-second chart. Yeah, this would be absolutely great if we do reject at the 382 50% daily zone. If the chart gets up here, if the price action gets up to this zone right now with this current price action and then rolls down to test the lows, that is when I'm considering this the 5th wave finish. And I'm going to be looking for longs at the lows, at those crucial pivots that I mentioned, okay? That's basically it, guys. I'm going to set some alerts. Preferably we do get more of a bounce. These are very shallow. I would still consider, if we don't bounce at least to the 382, I would still consider that this is part of a 3rd wave. Okay, very, very confusing, but I would still consider that this is still part of the 3rd wave if we don't get a bounce at least to the 382 50% Fibonacci. Then I would consider, okay, that's the 4th wave, boom, 5th wave, looking for the reaction at this level. Then we're looking for that recovery between today and tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I will be awake, guys. Bears are losers. I did jump into a long already today and made some okay profits. Did get stopped out once, as explained. And yeah, let's go right away through the comment section. Okay, I mean, there's no shorts here. Shorts should have been taken from higher at the VWAP. If we do get an epic bounce, okay, let's talk about some other scenarios here on Bitcoin, right? What if we do bounce? What are the most important levels of interest? Well, eventually, this is the next movement up is going to give us a lot of information, because the information that we currently have on Bitcoin is that this looks very 5-wavy, and this also looks 5-wavy. So it's like, wow, I need the information of this movement. Is this going to be a very 3-wave corrective structure where your 3rd wave is not getting, too powerful, right? You want a 3rd wave to absolutely snap out. And if you don't get a massive snap out here on a 3rd wave and it's very sideways momentum, then I would really consider that this is corrective, right? And, eventually we're looking at some major fib levels and confluence, previous day value levels. I would go with previous day point of control. I'm not sure. We did break them. I have them here somewhere. Previous day value area high. Daily open is all the way up here. Yeah, I mean, the 50% Fibonacci is where we have the previous day value area high. So this would be relatively shallow, of course, but if we move up in a very, very poor three-wave move up here, I would really consider the 50% Fibonacci with the previous day value area high at 96,700. It would I would see it still as a possible shallow, and if it breaks through, we get a massive third wave, then it's bullish eventually. But if it's very, very sideways, you get a three-wave slow move up here. I mean, your first level of interest would be your 50% Fibonacci at least, right? Which is where we have the previous day value area high, which could act as resistance, right? So yeah, round about that zone. That would be, yeah, we need to really analyze the movement up, okay? If you want more in detail analysis, well, you know where to go, okay? I mean, there's the traders such as myself and 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 and Aiden that is providing the setups in the Bitcoin setups channel. Okay, we've got 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 eventually providing the different analysis and scenarios. Myself, BTC setups, altcoin setups with Dylan. We are growing here in the Discord, guys, and people are absolutely loving it. If you want to take your trading to the next level, you want to join the Legends trading community, surrounded with like-minded people that can guide you. You can look at the setups, manage risk, okay? Go through your trading journey, all right? So you can move faster than ever. It is the fourth link down below, okay? The Legends trading community. If you want to join, guys, there's the modules as well, so you can learn faster than ever yourself, guys, on how to read the market and risk management, most importantly, okay? So you can take advantage. Anyway, that's basically the levels. Not easy, guys. Not an easy zone. I'm just going to remain patient. If it bounces from this level, the movement, we could be in a larger range. It's not being easy, guys, I have to say. Very, very wicky with the news as well. Up and down, just range low, range high. Level of interest for longs would be this zone over here as explained, 7-8 and this low. And if it breaks down, guys, so be it. I would rather wake up tomorrow morning and check where the price action is, and we'll go from there, either here or here. It does not matter if it breaks through the levels of interest. Long COQD. What is this? COQD. What is that? I thought that was a ticker symbol for something. Right. We are currently sitting at the previous month value area low. Okay. Previous month value area low. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. We are sitting at the previous month value area low. Let's zoom out here on the 4-hourly. Let's get some of these levels off the chart. Or the value area low of the range, right? Pretty much almost at the value area low of the entire range, where we got an epic move, support right there. This was last Monday with the Monday, right, where we got the epic drop. Lots of people getting wrecked on that movement. We are in the bear market, $45,000 soon. Okay, I want to know, I'm going to ask in a poll right now. I mean, the levels of trading interest here have been mentioned on Bitcoin. I do see a possible reversal. It's just been very slow downtrend, okay? Slow downtrend. The lowest probability here, guys, is really breaking down, I have to say, okay? Regardless of how boring this downtrend is coming, the highest probability is at some point get a leg up here to get to $102,000 instead of breaking down below $90,000, okay? The highest probability is this one at some point. It's just getting so long and boring here for many days that it's just like, oh man, how many times are we going to test the lows here, right? That is the question. But feels like a bear market. It does. It does feel like a bear market. But you know, if you do take a look at the price action from 2023 and 2024, we have been in an epic bull run on Bitcoin. It's been epic. I'm very happy with my Bitcoin gains. I actually sold 10% in total of my Bitcoin holdings, 5% at 90K and 5% at 100K. Okay, so should I sell some more? That is the question. Should we sell a few more Bitcoin here, or shall we hold on, guys? We hold on. No matter how many bear markets we need to go through, guys, we'll buy more at lower levels. All right, that's, you know, that's what I see. Can we all just stop and think about, man, Joe, is that 𝗓𝗏𝗽? Are you serious? This ain't gonna work, man. This ain't gonna work. I don't know what's happened to this, but yeah, it's very, very downtrending. We ain't gonna talk about this crypto. Andy, are you still bullish? I do see altcoins. I do see another Bitcoin all-time high happening. I sold 10% of my Bitcoin holdings. I have not sold any of my Chainlink, and I got a significant bag, but I have my doubts, legends. You know, this is the moment of doubt, and this is usually when you're in doubt. Even myself, that has been here for many years in the market, right? Usually when I've been in doubt has been the best moment to get in, right? It's it happens to most of us, no matter how experienced you are. When you get very, you know, disappointed, it all has to do with the economy as well, guys. I have to say, it's not really entire crypto's fault, and the price action, it really has to do on, man, are we on the brink of a recession or not, right? And it's just, you know, the smart market makers are already getting out, and there are signs of you know, a possible recession, right? I mean, interest rate cuts is the perfect example from the previous two recessions, where as soon as you started cutting rates after a major increase and hitting a plateau for many months, right, leaving interest rates at the same level, and you're right, really putting the pressure and the pain into the economy, right? It's not easy to lend money, right? There's not much money flowing around, and you're like really tightening here and squeezing, and then you start seeing the cracks, and it's like, okay, we lower interest rates, okay, let's get money for the people, but then it's too late, and then you have that recession kicking in, right? The 2001 .com bubble was not much. There was a few months of a bear market, and then the 2008 was a little bit more powerful worldwide. The same scenario with interest rates. You rocket them, hit the plateau at 525, and then you start cutting, and in 2008, right, that's when we, you know, crap hit the fan, right? And it was too late. And then eventually interest rates close to zero, easy money access, you know, rebuild the economy again. And this is kind of what's happened here after the C19. Interest rates going absolutely crazy based on the money printing activity. And, you know, was it too late? Is it late to cut rates? People are struggling to get loans and get money flow, right? So there is that slight fear in the market, right? There is that slight fear of, you know, what if, when you take a look at the S&P 500 and you go to the monthly chart, and you see this absolute banana. This is like, I don't know, it's just a very, very strong uptrend, right? You know, how is this always going to go up? I mean, there's no such thing as an infinite growth chart, right? But it does look like it when you take a look at the S&P 500. It's just like an infinite growth, right? I don't know. Is this sustainable? Is it going to go up? You know, you have that kind of gut feeling. And then you have the speculation of the last time, you know, the United States did increase tariffs on other countries was in 1930. That is when we had the crack of 29, right? This was a multi-year bear market. This was like, you know, this was a depression stage after coming from a parabolic move. This was kind of the worst stage of a depression recession, right? So I mean, I don't know. I mean, this just, it looks. Then you got the 2000, the .com bubble as well, right over here, and the 2008, right? That was the .com bubble one, and this was the 2008 crash, and then slow recovery eventually throughout 2009, 2010. And this is, you know, these are small corrections compared to what's happened, right? Yeah, I don't know. This is just very parabolic throughout the last, you know, 15 years. Make sure to really have some cash on the sidelines for whatever could happen, guys, in the next coming months. I mean, I don't want to alarm anybody, but, you know, it's make sure to have some cash on the sidelines as well. Don't be fully invested in meme coins, right? Bitcoin's fine. I think Bitcoin, yeah, a movement down to $70,000-$60,000 is still going to be okay. That would be a 30% correction. That's no problem. But if you don't be very, very heavy on different altcoin projects, because, you know, I do have about 35% altcoins, excluding Chainlink. So, you know, it's going to be a big hit for me as well if we do go down and down and down and kind of close to zero. But still hold a bag. I haven't sold any, guys. Just going to hold on. Price waiting for Trump, says Arth. Very much possible. Let's go through comment section a little bit, guys. You know, the Bitcoin analysis has been talked about. Possible internal levels for scalping have been mentioned. Looking at the waves and the scenarios. I do think that a reversal after this pump and dump could be on the verge, guys, of happening. You're getting the choppiness here. You're getting the last little wicks. And this is classic price wiki action before you get the reversal, okay? I've mentioned the possible trading plan that could happen. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it responsibly. Well, this is classic price action to get a reversal at some point. And the levels have been mentioned, right? Just the last 30 minutes. Just wait for it. If it reverses from here, then so be it. There's opportunities every day. Smash the like button, says Aditya. How many likes we do have, guys? Let's get at least to 500 likes. Let me just refresh the chart. Someone here. I want to take... Woo! Let's get to 500 likes, guys. At least. And now, let's go through comment section. Bearish structure, yeah. Depending on what time frame. If you take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, then yeah, we kind of bet 4-hourly, 1-hourly, very, very bearish, very downtrending here for the last few weeks. Bitcoin, very downtrending. Muy bearish. I mean, today's short position would have been that VWAP. There was a scenario for a flat here in this zone and then looking for the next movement down. VWAP was your best option with the 382 from the highs of the lows of today's drop, right? 382 Fibonacci being a nice rejection level. Muy bien, muy bien. Let's get those pivots on the charterados. Let's get some alerts here because we're going to go through the comment section. Did we get that bounce at least to the 382? We didn't, right? From this pivot to the pivot low. Yeah, we did not hit the 382. You want at least a little bit more of a bounce here. You want at least a little bit more of a bounce and a range. This could still be part of a third wave. Very shallow bounce here. It still looks very one wavy. We want a fourth wave and we want a fifth wave. And then we look for the long. This still looks pretty aggressive on that third wave, I have to say. Let's go through comment section. Andy, what's your CVD settings for the exchanges you track? CVD, yeah, well, basically it is Bybit in the yellow here. I mean, this is AGGR.trade. It's free. I mean, you do have ExoChart, you do have CoinGlass, you have many different options to look at CVD. I think there's an option to put it on Tradingview as well, a paid option. But yeah, basically the blue is rest of exchanges. It's OKX, it's Binance, it's different other exchanges, and then in the yellow you have Bybit. Here using AGGR.trade. You can join the Discord. Okay, you have the Discord link down below. You got the free Discord, guys. It's also very active. People sharing charts, ideas, analysis, and you have the obviously the pro section of the Discord where you have me, 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, and rest of the coaches as well, that we talk about different setups and scenarios also every single day. Dropping down here now. I don't want to consider this. I mean, it has had a little zigzag. It has had a little zigzag. It has extended ever so slightly in time, but the pullback. You've hit the 236. I mean, it is an aggressive long. Preferably we do get lower. And it could be the one. I mean, I would go with an extremely small position. Extremely small. It looks like it wants to SFP from this level. My concern here is now looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too convincing. Not too convincing based on this 4. It's been very, very shallow. But very shallow. I mean, the 236 is a minimum target zone for your fourth wave. It could be an option. I would have an extremely tight. Preferably we do go down to those levels on this fifth wave that I have mentioned throughout the last 30 minutes. Would be ideal right now, as you have lost the golden pocket. Golden pocket has been lost. Yeah, 7-8 would be ideal, or this pivot low. Not too convinced with this movement, with this double bottom, I have to say. Maybe a little position with a stop loss beneath the low. And if you get the bounce, just be defensive with your stop loss, right? Get your stop loss close to the entry. Once you get that bounce, if it does not recover, just pay a little bit of fees, guys. Don't pay a little bit of fees. Start being defensive. I have my doubts here on this one being the fourth wave, just because it's been relatively shallow. Yeah, it doesn't look too convincing. But if you get the bounce, you want to start being defensive. Lower, increase your stop here to close to entry zone. Not worth it, guys. Not worth adding to position or doing any of that nonsense, okay? Do not add to the position. If you continue breaking down, then so be it. Wait for the next levels of interest and jump on the next level of interest. That's it. It's all you need to do. All you need to do. Okay, let's continue here. Let's continue through comment section. Let's do a little bit of comment section. 1 minute analysis, lol. Absolutely, my man. We scalp, we day trade. That's what we do, my man. I know. It's only for the aggressive, experienced traders that we zoom in on the lower time frames. I'm a scalper and a day trader. I do not swing trade. I can turn a day trade into a swing trade, but mainly I'm in and out in the day. So yeah, we do 1 minute. I do 30-second. We're just looking at the 30-second chart, my man. So yeah, that's what you get here. Can we long here? Look, I said it's, you know, it is a possibility that you could swing failure pattern this low. So, you know, the thing is this. This is what you're looking at right now. As an aggressive scalper, this is basically what we're looking at. You can be relatively quite defensive with your stop loss. And this could be the low. This could actually be the low. There is a chance of this being the low. I'm not too convinced with this wave 4, but hey, it is possible. The risk management is there. What is most important is, can we long or not, is when to get into the long. How much are you risking? How good is it looking like? Okay. And, you know, this is exactly where you want to trigger. Don't get into long right now. No. Because then you're looking at this. Then, yeah, then it's not looking too great, right? You are downtrending. Remember that. You are downtrending. So getting into long right here is not an option. Your only option is here. Now you can be defensive. You can ride almost a free trade. If you come back down and you get stopped out, so be it. Then we look for the next levels. Boop. Next level. Same scenario. Same scenario. Till you get the good trade. Right? Till you get the good trade. That's it. You bounce. You start being defensive at that level of interest. You run a free trade. Right? That's how we look for. This is bottom catching. Don't be a bottom catcher if you don't know how to catch the bottom. Because bottom catchers, you know why they get burnt? I'm a bottom and a top catcher, guys. I like it because I know how to do it. The problem is with most of the bottom catchers and the top catchers, they will have a bunch of limit longs here in this zone. They will try and get an average long entry, expecting that the price will reverse at some point. But what if the price dumps down to $90,000? The bottom catchers that trade like this are going to get wrecked. We never talk about adding to position or put some limit longs or limit shorts in a zone because we do not know if the price is going to break out a resistance or a support. What we do know is that we could fake out from a resistance and a support, right? So if we do get back the low, when we analyze the potential waves and we have an idea that this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Were you here at just 30 minutes ago on the stream where I said, do you know why I am not interested in this SFP right there? Do you know why I'm not interested in this bottom right there. Because from the highs, you have 1, 2, and 3. And we're looking for a 4 and a 5. Then maybe, yeah, we get the bounce. Maybe. Maybe not. Now you need to consider the next scenario where you're forming a flat and that your fourth wave is going to be here and then your fifth wave is going to be here. And then you form a flat right there. You come back down to the lows and this was your fifth wave. You did not think about that, did you? Well, that's what we do here. We plan the different scenarios as the waves form. Maybe this was the low. Maybe this was the low. If this is not the low, I don't care. I'm in the long. I've got my stop loss. Boom. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to higher levels, right? It doesn't matter. You got a tiny stop loss. You can be defensive right now. If you do get the movement down and it turns out to be an ABC flat, you get stopped out close to break even and you wait for the levels of interest that have been mentioned. It turns out to be an ABC flat and you're waiting for that fifth wave to finish at some point to get the big fat juicy bounce where you want to get into the long position based on the reaction. You're longing after the fake out, after the liquidity grab. You're putting your stop loss beneath the low. You're riding the momentum. You're riding the possible reversal. This is why just 30 minutes ago, I said, you know why this is not a good double bottom? Because we have a 3-wave move down and I want a 5-wave move down. The moment we get a 5-wave move down, then you can look for a local double bottom, or or the pivot low. I mean, preferably the pivot low, or the 7-8. I mean, it all really depends. I mean, this is why this could definitely be a flat. This could definitely be a flat. If you start struggling to break out here, and you reverse, then I will still consider this scenario. And then we get the reversal in between today and tomorrow. So the fact of should we long now or is it a good time to long? If you apply what has been taught on the stream, you know exactly where to get into a long position, how to get into a long, how to be defensive, how to protect your capital. Because most importantly in trading is protecting your capital. And having good trading plans, having good risk management. You know, money will come on its own later on. Well, your goal is to protect your capital. Start thinking of how can I protect my capital in my trades, and you will start making money. Start thinking of the money in your account, how you can defend that money. Then you'll start getting into these kind of trading setups. Well, obviously the technical analysis does help eventually, guys, but does make you understand where you need to get in and where you possibly need to get out. But at the end of the day, your risk management is what is going to make you make some money. Anyway, Empire Trails. Yes, you're right, man. I've been trading like this for years, and I can tell you, for me, it works. So I do not know any other style of trading for me that works apart from the one that I use with confluence levels, entry zones, and what is most importantly for me is the risk management. I mean, I'm not the best technical analyst out there, but I'm very good at risk management, and I can say that for myself. I'm very good at where to exactly enter, how to be defensive, and then if the price just gets the pop, it gets the pop, right? So yeah, you guys need to learn, guys. You need to stop relying on people on YouTube and really start learning. And obviously there's a lot of people that are new, more experienced, but I know that there's the first 2 to 3 years you flip-flop into different channels, and you're always going to find 2 or 3 that are great from 20, 30 channels or gurus or mentors, and you're going to make your own strategy and your own risk management and the way that you trade. I remember my first couple of years, which I started in 2017, and I was buying courses and following people on YouTube, and you start learning Bollinger Bands and RSI and moving averages and this, that, the other, and so many stuff out there, and you start putting that in the bin. You start putting stuff that really doesn't work in the bin, and you start realizing how the price moves with waves. I mean, Elliott wave is extremely powerful because it's all based on Fibonacci's and based on timing and waves, which is very, very powerful. And eventually then you have your high levels of resistance. Fibonacci's has to be one of the only most powerful tools that I use for the trading decisions. And then you have pointer controls, which are good, which you can add as confluence with your Fibonacci. I like VWAP as well. VWAP is, just because institutions use VWAP, and, you can very much see the VWAP getting respected many times, because that is a zone where a lot of big players are taking profits or are taking a short in this case. So you're really not, you kind of need to have your VWAP and take it into consideration, just because even institutions use VWAP, right? Which is like, okay, even market makers use VWAP. So that's why it's the only moving average that I do take into consideration, just because I know that the big players use it. So it always has to be a TP zone or a look for a short. If you have confluence in this case, right, looking at the 382 Fibonacci from the pivot high of yesterday to the pivot low of today when we got that bounce, you have the 382 with the VWAP. You know that level is going to be a problem unless you're shorting it, or if you're longing, then you want to take profit, which was my case. So let's go through the comment section. Empire Trades, I respect most pivots, points, take a new entry. That's me. 3 great weeks, perhaps the best ever, but today is the big one. Okay. Tariffs, make America great again, says James. Absolutely. 1 p.m. Donald Trump expects to announce the tariffs. He announced twice on his Truth Social. Okay. 1 p.m. time. Okay. 1 p.m. time. I guess that's Eastern US time. Might see some volatility kick in at that time. So be cautious. Empire Trades, my man. Legends. Short now, says Flash Comp. That was just a few minutes ago. Not too sure if we want to do short now. Anybody that's shorting down here, guys, you need to take profit at the lows. Anybody that shorted the VWAP and the 382 Fibonacci needs to take profit at the lows. Anybody that shorted this area needs to take profit at the lows. Needs, okay? Needs to take profit at the lows. Make printing great again. Yeah, if we get the money printer going on and inflation, obviously skyrocketing in the coming months, then yeah, we will have an altcoin season. That is for sure. 2025 is a bit disappointing. Expect a lot of more upside. Yeah, it has been very disappointing. Let's get that money printer going on. and just like we had on the C19, I mean, this is an issue. This is the issue as well when you take a look at Bitcoin, for example, on the, higher time frame chart. Okay, hang on a second. Let's get another chart here. Index, or maybe Coinbase. Got some drawings and stuff here that I want to take a. I just want to show you the liquidity. Get these arrows out of the way and go with the logarithmic chart. But the importance of getting an epic bull run in Bitcoin and crypto, which, you know, Bitcoin already had an epic bull run, is taking into consideration the global liquidity, right? And global liquidity, yeah, we had, you know, after the C19 crash, right? After the C19 crash, we did have, let's go to the weekly time frame. This here is the global liquidity. This massive move up was after the C19 crash in 2020 in March, right? We started the money printing activity, which went absolutely bananas, and this eventually made the an epic bull run, right, in part of 2020 and part of 2021, where, oh my goodness, Bitcoin and everything just skyrocketed, right, throughout a 12-month period. And when the liquidity went down, we entered the bear market, right? Interest rates going up, right, throughout late 2021, early 2022. Interest rates going up, sorry. Money flow, right, really decreasing. And what is very interesting is we have not had a liquidity cycle yet. And I do really expect one. This is kind of the global liquidity, which is getting into a very squeezed, right? We're starting to cut rates. I would expect some kind of money printing activity in the next coming months, which this is the catalyst to bring us a bull run, guys, on altcoins mainly as well. And maybe Bitcoin then starts, you know, going to, who knows, right? 150K. Maybe 200K. We ain't going to talk about $1 million price target. That's going to be in many years from now, guys. But for this cycle to get the extra squeeze up, we need a lot of money printing, and we don't know if that's going to happen. It should happen, but it's anyway. So we need money printer. Let's get the money printing on. Make printing great again, right? As somebody said in the comment section. So yeah, Steven says, you're absolutely correct, Andy. It's essential for any scalper to become adept at using Fibonacci retracement, as they are highly effective in pinpointing optimal pullback entry points. I'm tired, can't even read. Andy man, I have funky mustache, mate, Arabic style. I do. Can you see it? I got a funky mustache today, Arabic style. The thing is, I've been waxing my hairs of the nose, and I got wax all on the top of my mustache. So I had to do it like the, you know, Italian mafioso kind of, you know the Italian 80s movies where I had to make that kind of mustache. And that's because I was waxing my hairs of my nostrils, right, my nose. And a bit of wax went on the top of my nose, on the top of my mustache, sorry. So I had to shave it off. I had to shave the top of the mustache. True story. So that's why I got this funky mustache right now. Crypto Life has said it's bearish. Oh my goodness. Well, then if he says it's bearish, then we should sell everything, right? This is kind of interesting because I think even technical analysts or crypto influencers are starting to feel a little bit bearish, right? Do you get that feeling? Do you get that feeling that people are starting to get a little bit bearish? Well, hello there, Jafar, says Lauren. Yes, I got a bit of a Jafar kind of mustache. My crypto life sucks. Guys, at the end of the day, we are traders, and we really need to look for opportunities on the chart. I could not stress that enough. In the bear market, where I make my gains is by trading, by day trading, because portfolio got wrecked, and that reminds me my roots, right? I am a cryptocurrency investor as well, but that's long term. Investing is for long term. You can't expect to make a 200x, right, and make millions in a bull run, right? It just sometimes it's not that easy. So we need a day trade. We need a day trade very carefully and responsibly to scratch dollars off the market. And that's basically it, guys. Go back to the roots. Go back to the roots, which is day trading. Anyway, legends, I'm gonna wrap it up. Remember, on Weeks, you do get $100 for free, guys. Just by signing up and linking your phone number, you get $100. Anybody there that has gotten broke by crypto investing, right? You have $100 here for free just by linking your email and your phone number. In the next 24 to 48 hours, use those $100, try and turn it to 200, right? For all of the bigger traders, right, you got $30,000 deposit bonus, right? The more volume you move, the more airdrops you're going to get. You also get 50% fee reduction. Check out Weeks, guys. It is the second link down below, guys. It's the one that I'm using currently, and I'm absolutely loving it. If you can trade on Bybit, Bybit for me has been number one always. Been trading here for over 7 years now. So, yeah, since 2018, since the creation of Bybit, I remember when Bybit had the massive wicks, it had low liquidity. I was starting to trade on Bybit, transitioning from BitMEX, which was horrible. BitMEX was absolutely horrible. So, yeah, if you can trade on Bybit, you got a great bonus down below on Bybit as well, guys. If you can trade on Bybit, it's been very active, no issues at all. On Bybit throughout the last 7 years since its creation. So you do have a great bonus down below on Bybit. Legends, I'm going to wrap it up. The scenarios, know the possibilities on Bitcoin. I am looking for a possible reversal. Stay cautious if you're shorting down here, guys. Take profits at the lows. Be defensive. This is not, this is a dangerous zone to, you can get into shorts, but get out at the lows. I would be expecting some kind of a reversal bounce at some point with this movement down. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.